30 years of CD players, another Tim Cook letter, Acrobat XI, App.net's price drop, and Siri's knowledge of science fiction movies. It's Tuesday, October 2nd, 2012, and this is iWake. I'm Tim Chaten, and this is what's going on in the Apple world today. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of iWake. First of the day is a rather cool thing. We are now at the 30-year mark for the CD and CD player. So this was around before I was even alive, the CD player thing. And it's a funny thing looking back, that CD players are now an old thing, you know, that I don't even really use CDs that much these days, that everything I buy is on iTunes, and it's only those limited 1,000 copy pressings of soundtracks that I get still on CDs, and my MacBook Air I'm sitting behind doesn't even have a CD drive, so it is aging. You know, the Tech Hive reports about this 30-year mark, and stating that on October 1st, which is yesterday, 1982, Sony ignited a digital audio revolution with the release of the world's first commercial compact disc player, the CDP-101. It signaled the dawn of a new audio medium that promised to deliver crystal clear music experience for a generation of consumers accustomed to the analog hiss and crackle of vinyl records. Sony's player retailed for $674 at 1982's exchange rates, brings it up to around $1,609 in our money, so $1,609. It launched alongside a group of 50 classical and pop CDs published by CBS Records, names like Mozart, Tchaikovsky, Schubert, and some of the more modern Billy Joel, Pink Floyd, and Journey artists as well. The disc cost around $14 or $15.25 a piece, around $33 or $36 in 2012 money, with the classical discs being on the high end. So quite an amazing difference we've seen here. You know, CDs are now commonplace. They're $10, $5. Some of the more expensive ones are still at around 20. But yeah, I mean, it's been 30 years, so I'm not sure if it'll be around another 30 years. That is a question that is still in my mind. Will CDs be around in 30 years? That's a question I'm not sure we have an answer to quite yet. Next up, Apple has announced that their Q4 earnings are set for October 25th. It'll be conducted at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern, and we will know just how many iPhone 5s have been selling. Next up is another Apple-related thing, as most of the stuff is, but this one's from Tim Cook. He wrote out an email to the Apple staff. And here we go. This is his email. Team, Apple is having another incredible successful year. Thanks to all of your hard work by you and your teams, your focus and dedication to making the best products on earth is what makes Apple such an incredible place. In a little over 6 months, we've launched outstanding new products in each of our major categories, starting with the new iPad this spring. Its response has been incredible and continued to show Apple's unrivaled leadership in his post-PC era. Over summer, we introduced a radically thin and light MacBook Pro with Retina display and shipped Mountain Lion, the fastest-selling OS X ever. Today, iPhone 5 is taking the world by storm, and in the next few weeks, we'll ship the new iPod Touch and completely redesigned iPod Nano with innovative designs that our customers are going to love this holiday season. To recognize the efforts that made this amazing year possible, I'm happy to announce that we are extending the Thanksgiving holiday once again this year. We'll shut down with pay on November 19th, 2021, so our teams can spend the whole week with their loved ones. Retail and some other teams will need to work that week so we can continue to serve our customers, but please check with your manager about taking time off at a later date. Our international teams will also get extra 3 days off during this holiday quarter, scheduled at times that's best for them. Details will be available on Apple Web. Thank you for everything you do for Apple, and please enjoy this much-deserved break. So there you go, a letter from Tim. They are doing the extended Thanksgiving vacation once again this year. They have done this in the past. This is not a big deal, but definitely something that's exciting for the employees. Now let's move on to some app news. First up is a new version of Acrobat Reader, dubbed Acrobat XI. According to Macworld, this latest version of Adobe PDF creation and viewing software aims to deepen integration with Microsoft Office and aims to speed up PDF workflows with simplified e-signatures, web forms, touchscreen capabilities, and hooks into cloud services. Among the highlights are new click and drag tools that enable text and image editing within PDF documents, to create a PowerPoint deck that mirrors themes from last month's presentations. You can grab an old PDF, edit it in Acrobat or Excel, combine it with other PDFs and Office documents. PDFs can be exported from Acrobat to PowerPoint, Word, RTF, or XML formats. So they've got some cool things in here. I'm not going to go into much more than that because, quite frankly, I'm not a big fan of Adobe and it's Acrobat. You know, we have Preview on the Mac, and I think that's a great app. We also have PDF Pen, which is a much more affordable solution. Acrobat XI Pro will run you $449, and they do have a Windows-only version at $299, which is dubbed the standard version, and upgrade costs are $199 for Pro and $139 for standard. So there you go. Next up in news about apps is Netflix. They have this update for the iPad 2 right now, and 3. And according to their blog, they've got this new setting for kids. It's dubbed Just for Kids. It's the first mobile version of this new special kid-friendly Netflix experience. Now, parents can be sure their kids find what they want and won't struggle or straggle into something that isn't appropriate. Netflix Just for Kids is filled with movies and TV shows appropriate for kids 12 and under, organized in a kid-friendly way with large images of their favorite characters and genres, such as sub-heroes, girl power, and sing-alongs. Just click the new Just for Kids button in the upper left-hand side of the Netflix app to enter this section. So this is now in the app, and this is a really cool thing that Netflix is doing. And something also to note is kids could probably jump out of this mode. Now, iOS has this amazing ability to lock down apps. So you can have your iPad locked down to just that app. You can turn off the parts of the touchscreen, so you can actually turn off the kid's ability to get out of that. You can lock down the button to get into regular Netflix mode with guided access in iOS 6. So this is really awesome stuff, and even better with iOS 6. Next up is this whole thing about low-light apps with the iPhone 5. So right now, iPhone 5 does low-light mode only with its built-in camera app. Developers, it's now known, can add this new low-light boost mode in their apps by adding a yet undocumented property to their apps, and it should be officially unveiled pretty soon. It's optional, as everyone doesn't prefer this low-light mode, but the majority of developers, I think, will add this. And next up is some web app news. First up is Evernote. They've redesigned their web interface with new notebook icons, added labels to the top of the note list, and they've improved the green bar along the top of the app with larger, clearer text. For users with small screen, they made it easier to hide the left panel using the new hide and show arrow at the bottom of the note list. So they've done some nice tweaks to sharing as well, and just overall, Evernote for web is getting better and better. The other big web service out there these days is app.net. They too got an update, and this one comes to pricing. So the pricing of app.net has been reduced. Basically, they're able to do this because of the volumes they're now working with. Their initial goal was 10,000 users at $50 a year. They're now at around 20,000 users, and with this amount of user base, they're able to implement lower cost memberships. First, they're introducing a $5 per month member plan, and some folks have been asking for this monthly plan since day one, and given the progress they've made, they're able to do it. Secondly, they're dropping the $50 a year price to $36 a year. All existing members will get the benefits of the yearly price drop. Existing members will get additional month added to their plan, so they'll see the same pricing benefits as new users get. If you are an existing member, you should receive an email from them explaining the extra time added to your subscription. So this is a very cool thing that they're basically getting some free months, and at $36 a year, I could see myself eventually getting into this. At $50 a year, there's no way I would pay for this. $36 a year, much more affordable, and something that I think it will attract a lot more users. Next up is an update to iPhoto. Version 9.4.1 improves syncing to iOS devices via iTunes, fixes a bug that can cause crashes, and basically a lot of bug fixes in this one. The other big thing is in the app world, this one's for Android. Rogue Amoeba has launched a beta of their airfoil speakers. Basically, this app, airfoil speakers, will enable a phone to be turned into an AirPlay receiver. And what else are you going to do with an Android phone? You know, it's a brick. In most cases, just sitting there on your desk. I kid, but if you have an old Android phone that you just want to turn into an AirPlay receiver with airfoil, you can now do this with their beta of this app. You can go to their website and install it from their site. So there you go. It's in the show notes for that link. And last up in app news is Chomp being killed off. So today, or yesterday I should make a note, September 30th marked the end of Ping. And it is not September 30th anymore, it's October 2nd. But news came out on October 1st that Chomp has been discontinued and Ping is also dead. So on September 30th, Apple basically killed off Chomp app. If you had the app installed, it no longer works. And Ping is now officially dead, clearing the way for the new iTunes 11 to be released without it. I also noticed the iOS no longer shows Ping. It's not there. So it's officially dead, and bye-bye Ping. Bye-bye Chomp as well. Closing off the show, we've got a couple of different things to talk about. First up is Freedom Pop. Freedom Pop is now open for beta business. They're accepting beta orders on a first-come, first-served basis at freedompop.com. They will initially offer its free high-speed internet service through 2 device options, the Freedom Spot Photon, powering up to 8 devices through a hotspot, or the Freedom Stick Bolt, enabling plug-and-play connectivity for laptops and PCs. It will also be shipping its highly publicized iPhone and iPod Freedom sleeves within the next 4 to 6 weeks. So Freedom Pop enables you to have 500 megabytes of internet usage per month, absolutely no charge. They have paid options past that, but if you want free data, this is a cool option. I could see iPod Touch users getting on board, iMessage and things like that, fitting under the 500 megabyte cap. So interesting stuff. It is now out, freedompop.com. Next up is a little bug that was discovered in iOS 6 for mobile me users. I noticed this as well. If you go to upgrade or downgrade your storage plan, it says you'll be downgraded to the free storage plan when your 20 gigabyte plan ends on September 30th, 2050. I'm imagining this is a bug that will go away shortly, but if this was true, this would be a rather cool thing. The system would not let me downgrade my plan at all, and I'm stuck at this 20 gigabyte plan, which is not a bad thing at all. In other news, or I guess this one's not news, but just in other discoveries, is Siri in movies. So if you ask Siri, tell me about the plot of, or what's, so if you tell Siri, what's Blade Runner about? It'll give you an answer. It's about intelligent assistants wanting to live beyond their termination dates. That doesn't sound like too much to ask. And she will do this for other movies. But what she won't do is do it for normal movies, non-science fiction movies. I asked her even about artificial intelligence, AI, the movie. And she said, I don't know what it's about, but here's the plot below. With 2001, it says it's about an Android assistant named Hal who tries to make contact with a higher intelligence. These 2 guys get in the way and mess it all up. And for Wall-E, it's all about 2 inarticulate yet intelligent assistants who compact trash and fall in love and save the world. I'm not sure what other movies Siri has knowledge about, but at least these 3 she does. Next up, Verizon iPhone 5 users, you have a carrier update. To get this update, simply go in the settings, general about, wait for an alert to appear, carrier settings update, click the OK button, and it'll install the update. Hold the sleep/wake button down until you see slide the power off, and then turn it back on. So you should see a Verizon 3.1 displayed in the carrier settings and the about page when this is updated. This fixes basically a problem with the Verizon's cellular network grabbing data in the background while you have Wi-Fi turned on. So this was a rather big bug eating up a lot of data, and Verizon has said that they will not charge people for their overages because of this. So I'm not sure how far that goes or what the technicalities there are. You might have to talk to Verizon about that, but that is something that is happening. And then lastly, Barnes & Noble has dropped their price of the Simple Touch with Glow Light to $119 to match the new Kindle Paperwhite that has been getting really favorable reviews so far. So that is the latest there with the price drop in Barnes & Noble's competition there. And that's the show for today. And thank you for tuning in today. That's what's going on in the Apple world today. You can check out the show notes over at iWakePodcast.com. You can also check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/TCHATEN. I also do this thing called iWake Again over at iWakePodcast.com/again. That's where you get access to scripts and bonus content right there. So iWakePodcast.com/again. Thanks for tuning in today. I'll be back for another episode of iWake hopefully tomorrow. Have a great evening and great day, and I'll talk to everyone again real soon. Aloha.